Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to JW World News, JW News all over the world. And tonight we have a special. We have a couple of ex-JW rock stars that hopefully will make it on. One is from the UK and one is from Canada. So we're going to try to keep the news to about an hour. And then we get to talk to these rock stars and maybe play just a little bit of just a little piece of their music and show you guys where you can go to watch it. It's really exciting. These individuals we first met on this channel on Joe and Franz, and they were talking about the very song that these guys recaptured. They did a wonderful job. So we'll keep the rest a surprise. Ruby, how are you doing down there in Florida?
Yes, it is currently 56 degrees in Florida. I am freezing, but I am finally out of YouTube prison and can post and go live now. So, hello, everybody. I am back and I'm going to
Well, it's
behave this time.
nice to have you back, Ruby.
Yes, I'm so
Now, you
excited.
said it's what, plus 54?
50 something.
54 in Florida, and you figured it's cold.
It's 56 degrees right now and it's nighttime. But even during the daytime when it's supposed to be like really hot, it was cold all day today and it's been so windy.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't even have
Still
any
cold,
winter
yeah.
clothes. Yeah, it's
Depends
freezing.
what you're used to, right? We're at 32 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
35.
35 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
Oh my
My
God, no,
goodness.
yeah, it's cold.
And there's a
Oh,
little
Jay
bit of
says it
snow falling
snowed.
outside.
Oh my God, no, I can't. I
So
can't.
it was white knuckling getting over the mountains, I'll tell you, driving. But we made
Wow.
her. We're here in Kamloops, BC. That's where we are with our mobile news unit. So welcome everyone to the show. We have a really interesting show coming up. Now, some of the news we have, the biggest news probably is the Norway news.
Yep.
But we're going to read that whole letter from Norway. But let's take a look at a few of the little things first. From watching Watchtower, we'd like to thank you guys for all the hard work you're doing exposing the Watchtower. We're going to take a look, hopefully meet ExWitnessAwake and the Compassionate Apostate. So the first article we're going to look at is Jehovah's Witnesses settled this case. What did they settle? Let's watch it together. The Utah Supreme Court revives a lawsuit of a woman who claims church made her listen to her own rape.
That's what the elders do
That's what the
What?
elders
in those
do
committees.
in
I've
those
heard, yeah,
committees. Yeah,
I've got
they
one.
make you listen to it. So the suit
No
involved,
way.
let's just look at that. So this is Utah. So this suit resolved against Jehovah's Witness Church, Roy elders. And let's see what happens here. I think that's it for now on that. But this is now opened up in a new state. So that's, I guess, what's interesting about this. And the Watchtower, the Jehovah's Witnesses settled this case, if we look at this whole case. So they're settling out of court left and right now because the exposure. If you Google Jehovah's Witnesses all over the world, what comes up in your Google feed? Positive stuff? Ruby, if you
I don't
Google
even
Jehovah's
know.
Witnesses,
I have not. Nope. I do
mm,
not go on their website. I don't view none of their stuff. The only stuff I get is from X, formerly known as Twitter.
mhm,
And that's about it. I don't Google nothing.
mm.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know if you're doing this. Terry Robert Booth sentenced to 3 years of probation, Jehovah's Witness. Did you look at any of that?
I did not.
No,
He's putting
I,
clips
I
in
did the
now.
wrong one.
Yeah.
It went ahead. Okay, let's see what this one is. So, Pennsylvania, Jehovah's Witness Terry Robert Booth sentenced to 3 years of probation. He's a Jehovah's Witness. You know, maybe it's running the mics. I don't know. Literature counter. Who knows? Well,
Oh, wow. Yeah. I recognize the mugshot, but I don't remember the story. So I'm going to have to look into this.
you heard about this one?
It's like
Yeah.
I recognize the face. Maybe Mike and Kim probably talked about it. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper and do my own video on something like this because these are the types of stories that I try to find and cover them. So I'm gonna look more into this. Thank you for bringing it up.
Mhm, mhm.
Perfect.
Well, this here guy, he was sentenced to 3 years of probation for the CSA Tuesday. This is recent, and the latest verdict in an ongoing grand jury investigation of the widespread sexual abuse in Jehovah's Witness congregations across Pennsylvania. So this is it just seems like it's just squeaking more people out, more of these more abuses coming to the table on this ongoing investigation. Okay, Terry Robert Booth, 58 of Panama, Panama, Panama. That's how you say that, Panama.
Yeah, Panama City, Florida. Yep.
Yeah. Can you read that? You can read that. He
Sure.
pleaded guilty.
Yep, pleaded guilty Tuesday to one count of corruption of minors. As part of the plea agreement, the Attorney General's office withdrew the other two charges against him, one count of indecent assault by forcible compulsion and one count of indecent assault without consent. Wow.
Yeah. So let's see what else comes out. Okay, I think that was all in that article. So again, I think there's more in these articles uh,
Yep.
that can come out. Now, this one I found interesting. I even looked up all the information. This WTBTS Jones. This is a very short video, and it just shows that Watchtower is involved in real estate. That's what this one is. Let's just run it out here. Right here. Let's just run this back. I think I missed a little bit here.
Oh, so is this story saying that they took the project from the funeral idea and they bought it and made it into a kingdom hall instead of a funeral parlor?
It even gets more interesting. I'm going to actually, once this is done reading, I'm going to pull up the article. It gets
Mm-hmm.
more interesting. In this kingdom hall, worldly
Mm-hmm.
people in the neighborhood can get married. There's a 32 seat classroom. There's a 150, 120 seat auditorium. And get this, Ruby, there's a store. There's a store,
What?
a JW store. It's open
Oh,
for the public. The public can have funerals in this place. They can have weddings in this place. This is a public facility that Jehovah's Witnesses are trialing this. This is a second trial. I'm going to pull up the paper. But they bought the land and they kicked the funeral home out. Yes, there's kind of that
right,
they did
right.
too. It was really ugly how they did it. They
Oh,
bought it up
okay.
and then gave these guys notice. They sent these guys a court notice and kicked them out. That's what they did.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Here,
I
we'll listen
think
to the rest of it.
I don't think we can
What's
hear it
that?
on our end. I don't think we can.
Oh,
I
you're
think
not
you could
hearing
hear
this?
it. No, I'm not hearing it. That's why I was like, What is the story about?
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I can hear it. Let me know, anybody in the chat, if you guys can hear it, but I can't hear it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start the screen again. Sometimes it does that, StreamYard.
Yeah, and sometimes
Share
if
the
you have like
screen.
headphones on or something, it doesn't let the stream hear it, but you can hear it yourself. So it might be something like that as well.
Well, I think I know what the problem is.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Anyways, I think I know what the problem is. I just have to fix it.
Okay. No problem. I'll say hi to everybody. Hello to the chat. Okay, so Glad just commented that they cannot hear as well. Okay, so hopefully
Okay.
Vern can get the audio to us.
Yeah, she can't hear.
Hello, everybody in the chat. Good
Okay.
evening.
Okay, so let's go back.
Okay, that's I think that's the beginning of it. Okay, there you
Okay,
go.
here's the funeral home, and I'll play the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay. Not working again, right?
No, I can't hear anything. Nope.
Yeah, that's too bad. Okay, well, I can read this. I'll pull up the article. Do you have an article you wanted to talk about?
Well, I just wanted to recap something that I already covered on my channel, and I don't know if you guys also knew about this, but there was a person lighting Kingdom Halls on fire in
Oh,
Washington
yeah.
State, and I can't even believe it. But okay, so this story was posted on October 19th, 2024, and they're calling this guy. Well, let me share my screen so I could show you guys what I'm looking at. And I just posted this video too because I'm still in shock that this actually happened. Okay. Serial arsonist sentenced to prison for attacks on Kingdom Halls in Thurston County, which is in Washington State. So he was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. I thought that was crazy. And he goes on to say, you know, how he's embarrassed and ashamed of his actions, that it was unprovoked and unacceptable, and he wishes he can go back in time and take it all back. Now, when you scroll down a little bit in this story, it says here, like, the motive for the attacks remains unclear, though the investigators noted that Starrett was vocal about his animosity towards the Jehovah's Witnesses. He described the Jehovah's Witnesses as sleazy and as gangsters who were uninterested in serving the community. He also said that Jehovah's Witnesses were trying to take over the world and wanted to do something about it. He said that he had wished that they were all dead. But then they go and they look at his internet history, and they were seeing the phrases that he was Googling, and these were the phrases, quote, Jehovah's Witness refused military service, JW elder sexually assaulted 8 girls over 4 decades, and how to destroy Christianity with one easy step video. And then he goes on to, you know, express regret for what he did and how un-American, you know, it was for him to do what he did. And I completely agree with him. But the reason why this bothers me so much is because this happened in Germany when there was a shooting. There was a bomb in India in that convention that I remember like covering that. And now it's happening in the United States. And it makes me so sad and angry, but also like I understand where these people are coming from, is because so much of us have been like suppressed in our feelings and our thoughts because they don't let us express ourselves, you know, like all these grievances that we have. We lose our friends, we lose our family, we lose our community, like everything. Imagine somebody, and I don't know if this guy is an XJW. There was no reference that he had any like affiliation to the religion. But imagine people on the outside can take the same kind of information we're doing and they take it to the next level. You know what I mean? People can get really upset and angry and commit crime, which doesn't make us better than the JWs or the governing body. You know what I mean? So I feel like I understand where this hurt is coming from, because sometimes we want to take justice in our own hands and just do it ourselves, and we don't let the justice system work. We don't let the like the proper way of doing things, we don't let that work sometimes, because we're so like riled up in our own emotions and angry. And this story just kind of proves that it's not worth it, because now he has to spend 11 years in federal prison because he was so angry and upset about what the Jehovah's Witnesses were doing, instead of doing what we're doing: activism, protest, like actual protesting, like doing the right thing to let the world know. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of gets me so sad. Yeah, live your life with love. Yeah, always say that. And Jesse used to say that a lot in my earlier streams, because I'm honest with myself. And like I told Reno, exjw YouTuber and life coach, I commented on one of her videos when she spoke about how she loves them, that she loves, her family and her friends that are still Jehovah's Witnesses, despite everything. And I commented and I was like really honest with her. And I said, I wish I could be there. I wish I could say the same thing, but I'm not there. And I'm honest with myself. Like it kind of still hurts. Like I don't know if I can live my life with love in the sense of like forgiving or trusting in the system or trusting in God, or like whatever it is. Because to me, I was that guy. I was about to walk up into Warwick and make a scene. You know what I mean? Like I had those thoughts. Like I'm not gonna
But
lie, I
because
had those thoughts, and I feel like I understand where the anger that these people have.
now probably what held you back was love. Now let me tell you, it's a different type of love, okay? Because this
Yeah.
is what held me back
Hmm.
is you love your kids, right? You love your
Exactly.
kids, right?
Yep.
So
Yes.
you're not going to go to jail for that
Right.
frickin' JW.org. Your kids
Exactly.
don't have to deal with that crap. You're going to shelter
Right.
your kids. You're never going to expose your kids to that cult. That's love. That's the start in place with love, that you're gonna help those coming out to realize, to wake up. That's love, right? You're doing that
Yeah.
by being vocal. That's love.
Right.
So that's how you
Hmm.
live your life with love. It's not all about smiles and jumping around like a JW and putting on this false face. That's not what love is. Love is
Right.
simply getting up in the morning and being there to cook your kids a breakfast and have a meal for them and teach them and be a mom. That's love.
Right.
Being there. You see, JW Ward
Yes.
robbed us as parents from doing that to you. Your mom still is sucked in. She's robbed of that ability to show real love. You see, she just
Right.
loves JW Org. That's false love. That's loving the golden calf. That's loving idolizing men. That's loving men that you don't even know, 11 men that are going to tell you to die. That's not love. That's kind of really twisted, man. That's twisted. We came out of a twisted cult. And
Yep.
here's what I think regarding that story you just read. Here's my personal opinion. I think once the governments, like Norway, we're going to read this Norway letter, but once the governments look at Zetterman and these UN, these false lobbyists that JW Org is using, and they put this letter is just beautiful how it just dismantles and undresses JW Org and that Zetterman. The Zetterman
Hmm.
that's on the UN, they undressed him in this letter,
Hmm.
in my opinion. That's just
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe the slack way of you saying it, but that it was masterfully done and it was accurate. It was so accurate.
Yeah.
We're going to read it here in a minute.
Yeah, but you're
But
right.
I
You're
think
right, Vern. You're right. Like everything you just said, you're absolutely right. And this is why I say that the best revenge is to create a whole new life for yourself and to show
yeah,
them how happy you are, how you've moved on, how you went to college or you got a
We
job
actually,
or
Yeah, live your best life. Show them by living your best life in spite of everything
Yeah,
because they want you down.
yeah. See, I think
Exactly, exactly.
once the government start dismantling this religion as a cult for what it really is, and they take away the charity status, it starts dominoing effect all over the earth. Once this happens, um, things are there's gonna be a change in this religion. Your mom's gonna be told that she's got to go and talk to you. That time is coming. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's like I hope I'm ready for that. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready to be mature enough to not let that get in the way of
Mhm.
reconnecting with like family or whatever. And I'm so happy when people reconcile and they, like they get their family or their friends back. But for me, man, I need to practice that love because I'm like, oh, I would
Well,
never talk to these
you
people
love
again.
your children, so
Yeah,
that's the big
exactly.
thing.
That's my focus.
Your husband, you know. So, hey,
Right, right.
I got this article. I just want to show it to you guys. This is out of the UK. This thing, John Fraser. Now, let me go right to the beginning here. Inverness. Do you know where that is?
No, I
Scotland or
don't.
something?
UK.
Or the UK. It's in the UK for sure. I think it brings it out here. John Fraser and Son were granted permission back in 2019 to construct a new premise on this called Bethel Avenue. So the plans for the new funeral home have been axed to make way for a new place of worship. The developers are proposing to construct a new Kingdom Hall building on this called Bethel Avenue. It holds a capacity of 150. The single story structure would provide a new place of worship for Jehovah's Witnesses in Inverness. And the development has been earmarked for construction on land which was due to home a new funeral parlor. So John Fraser and Son were granted permission back in 2019 to expand their empire and construct a new premise on this avenue. There's the new Kingdom Hall. I guess the artist, what it's supposed to look like. So last year, Vicky Fraser applied to renew their planning permission and was granted a green light. However, more than 12 months on, it seems plans for the venture have been scrapped to make way for a new place of worship. The funeral home owners were served with a service of notice. I like Watchtower. They didn't go to the funeral home guys and say, "Hey, we're going to buy the property." They bought the property out from under them and then legally
Evicted them.
served them a notice and evicted them in October last year concerning the land ownership by the new developer. And this is what's odd. WT Britann WTBSTS Jones. That's
Yep.
the new company. Have you ever heard of
Yep.
that? You
I
have,
have
eh?
not, but this sounds a lot like Jehovah's Witnesses. They do it in
Uh,
business and they do it in real life too with family members.
well, this paper says that Inverness Jehovah's Witnesses could relocate to the new building if approved, and the developers are seeking full planning approval from the Highland Council to create a space to open to all members of the community. You see that? Open to all
Hmm.
members of the community. And a statement in the planning document reads, the new Kingdom Hall building is open to all members of the public. It also states that the building may be used for weddings and funerals. So is this
Hmm.
JW tricky writing on contracts so that the public thinks that they can use this now as a building? It's kind of a like a community hall, you can book it and you can use this
Hmm.
community hall for weddings and funerals. I don't think so. I think you have to be a JW to use their building for weddings and
Yes,
funerals.
right,
So they're
right.
saying it's open to the public, but they're
Hmm.
failing to say it's open to the public of the Jehovah's Witnesses
Yeah, and their Bible studies and whoever wants to
and their
come on the
Bible
Sunday
studies.
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. So is this tricky wording or not? I'm
Yeah.
wondering, are they really, if anybody's out there watching this program and you're from the UK and you know what the Watchtower's up to, please let us know on the comments. We
Oh
appreciate it.
yeah.
Or you can email us at mail at simply xjw.tv. It's that simple. I can put a banner up for that too.
I'm putting it in.
Oh, the good wife is
Yes,
going to put that.
awesome.
Okay, so the hall will be a second of its kind in the city. So there's two of these. This will be the second of its kind. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
Watchtower's running a trial, right? Now, the congregation currently meets at their hall within the Bales building on this other street. However, understood meetings would be relocated to this new premise. So here's what it looks like, folks. I don't know if I have, I'm going to just make it a little smaller. I don't know if I made it too small. Okay, there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so take a look at this. You come into the plant room. What in the hell is a plant room? Have you ever heard of a plant room in a Kingdom Hall?
No, I
Well,
have
they're going to have a
not.
plant room. Then over here, you've got the ACCWC. Well, that looks like it's, I don't know, a toilet.
Like a
It looks
Yeah,
like
like a
this is the
bathroom.
janitor's room. Then they got
Oh,
the
okay.
female washroom, the male washroom, multi-purpose room, the lobby, and there's the store. See the store at the bottom there?
Mm-hmm. I
There's a
see it.
store
Mm-hmm.
for the public. And then they got their big auditorium and then this little 32 seat classroom. Like if you're doing a funeral, let's say, and you have the family in there, the
Mm-hmm.
funeral, the people that are on the funeral, what do
But
they
what
call that?
but wouldn't that be like the B school?
Oh,
Or
and
is
it
that
could be used as a Kingdom Hall B school.
okay? Okay. I was thinking about that. Yeah, the plant room is what confuses me because, like, in New York City, we had a coat room, when people would put all their
Hmm.
coats, and it was a pretty big, walk-in room that you would have all these
Hmm.
coats. But a
Hmm.
plant room? Like what?
Well,
That I don't know what
think
that
of a
is.
funeral, though. You have all these plants, all these flower arrangements, for funerals, plants,
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
maybe. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's open to the public, apparently.
I don't
That's what the
believe that. I
newspaper
don't
said.
believe that.
I don't believe it either, but that's what the newspaper. Okay, well, let's see what else it says. This is all in the paper. The new Kingdom Hall floor plan, if approved, the overgrown site would be transformed to make way for the development. The hall will feature a 120-seat auditorium. Guests will be led through the entrance into the lobby where you will find a store and a 32-seat classroom. Second school, right? Probably, eh? Second school,
Yep. Yep.
32-seat classroom.
Hmm.
But there's your store. They're talking about it. So what are they going to have? Pop and chips and chocolate bars at the
Oh my
store?
goodness, I can't even believe it.
There will also be a multi-purpose room and bathroom facilities. So a multi-purpose room, like something where you can kind of bring in goodies and cakes and stuff like that for a funeral or a wedding.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
what I think of a multi-purpose room. And the
Mhm.
plans propose 30 car parking spaces with 3 spaces allocated to accessible parking at the entrance area of the building. And blah, 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 blah. It looks acceptable. But this is interesting in two ways.
Mhm.
This company, this weird company that bought out the property and then
Right.
kicked off the funeral home people, and then they're putting in their own funeral home open to the public. Do you see that? A
We're
J a
gonna have to see
JW
pictures
Org
of this when
funeral
it
home
comes up. No, I'm gonna
open
have to
for
see it to
weddings.
believe it. Yeah.
So, anyways, if anybody's out there watching this, please let us know. This is the most interesting thing I've seen. Maybe the Watchtower's taken on a new they're trying to take on a new look community-ish. So could you imagine they say, oh, look, we're open to the whole community to
Right.
get married there. I couldn't get married in the Kingdom Hall, by the way. I was a JW baptized. They wouldn't let me get married there because my ex wasn't baptized. She was studying, but not baptized.
Right. Right. And I definitely couldn't get married at the Kingdom Hall.
Uh,
I had to hide away for
well,
my
a lot of
circumstances.
us end up getting disfellowship because you know
Right.
how that all works, right? So,
Yeah,
anyways,
exactly.
I thought this was interesting, this part of it. So where are we moving on to new video, same old hypocrisy. Watchtower Jehovah's Witnesses, new video. It's just another one of the we could play it.
Hmm.
I don't know, was my sound not working again, eh? Or is it?
Yeah, it's not. So I guess we're just gonna have to read the screen.
I'll have to read it. Okay, you must belong to an organized religion to worship God. Let's just play it. Let's see if anything coming. Nothing, eh?
Nope. Nope.
So you must to worship God, and
So they
this
have
is
a
the
video
new
on
this.
this.
Yeah, this is a new video. So let's just see what it
Oh
says.
Lord.
So this is a new video, just showing that people are practicing spirituality on their own. I'm gonna pause playing that. So this is the new video. Religious leaders being arrested. What for? That's what
Wow.
they're showing. They're getting their people prepared for, I think, someone coming in and arresting the governing body. That's what it looks like. Why would they build a video like that? It's something that we can probably take a look at that video and talk about it coming up here. I think we'll take a look at this new video. But this is just a tidbit, just to look at it. They built a
Mm-hmm.
new video preparing their people for what's coming. Religious leaders getting arrested. You see, they're trying to make it look like Babylon the Great's going to be all the governments are coming in and they're going to
Mm-hmm.
arrest the Catholic Church and all this stuff. Really,
Mm-hmm.
what's happening is the governments are going to come in and arrest all them first. What if that happens? What if the government
Hopefully.
comes in and arrests them first?
I don't know. I guess I don't think they would believe it because my mom is like that. She's always like in denial, or like she's always in that extreme of like, oh, that would never happen. And I catch myself sometimes doing the same thing in like other, like in other
Mhm.
subjects. I'm always like dismissive, or like, oh, that's not gonna happen, or I always let things like brush off my back, like I'll wait for the real news. She's like that too when it comes to JW stuff. She would say,
Mhm.
oh, well, that's probably Satan, persecuting us, or oh,
Mhm.
that's probably, like how they say, disgruntled ex-member who's lying about something. And that's how they dismiss it. So I think that they wouldn't even believe it at first.
Mhm.
Like they would have to reject it to protect their sanity
Mhm.
almost. And that is cognitive dissonance, right? Because it's like you see something
Yeah.
happening right in front of your face. It's a fact. There's a case, a mug shot or something of somebody that you know, and you're like, oh, there must be another story. Even if the whole article is telling you this guy got arrested because of this, they're always gonna be like, nah, I think there's more to this story. So I don't think they're gonna believe it.
No, it's all coming out. And last week, last Friday, we covered that case in New York, two
Mhm.
cases, and the judge in both cases says you can sue the governing body. Remember that? You can sue the governing body. They said it's an entity in itself and it's not incorporated. That means it's not protected. And it can't be incorporated. It's a
Mm.
governing body. It can be sued because it directs the organization. That came out. I did a video on that, and it was JW.org lose twice in
Right.
court.
I'm gonna have to watch
That's
that
the one.
video.
And it's New York. It's a good one. It's they lost twice there, and the judge says no. And this is in their home, Warwick. Everything's in New York. This is where they
Hmm.
reside, and the
Right.
judge says you can sue them. So these
Okay,
two
good.
people that were CSA'd are going to sue them. I'm thinking we're waiting for that. We're going to cover it. You and I will cover this news.
Okay. Yeah,
This will
no,
be the
that's
biggest
actually a
news,
good
right?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
So
and
they
you know
thought they
what?
were protected, and they said no,
Mhm.
you're not protected. So the judges know they're all working together. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I hope this is actually a good sign, and we're going in the right direction, because this is what Spain was doing. I
Yeah.
have always said that they should be declassified as a religion so that we can go after them and we can sue them, and they're not gonna hide behind the First Amendment. I always
Yeah.
like talk about this. And just a quick side note, I want to say good luck to Tony Davis in the chat because he said that tomorrow he's going to the assembly and that he's a PMO. Good luck, Tony Davis. I hope that maybe one day you will be free. You know what I mean? I don't like when I see a lot of PMOs because I know how like torturous that could be to your mental health. And
Mhm.
you know, being around that type of energy, I couldn't do it. Like I guess I was technically PMO for a long time. I just kept my mouth shut. I didn't say anything. I didn't go to the meetings because I wasn't gonna bring my kid, you know, to a kingdom hall that possibly has a pedophile in it. But you know, I tried to stay under the radar, and I still couldn't do it. So imagine still going to the meetings. I feel really bad for PMOs, and I hope that you will get your freedom soon.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know if the plant room's an electrical room, but you never know. Maybe that's the word they use
Maybe.
in the UK, plant, you know, like electrical
Oh,
plant.
that's a good
Could be an
point. Yes.
electrical room. That makes sense. Thanks
Good.
for that, John.
Yeah, good point.
Doesn't make sense that they would put plants in there.
Yeah.
Greenhouse.
That makes more sense, actually. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
So, what other comments? Feel free to put any comments up that you want. Hey, we got Jonathan in the audience here. So
Oh
we'll have,
my gosh. Yes, I can't wait till he hops on and talks
uh,
about the music. I
like
love when XJWs do this.
or
Like,
any, so I won't get a copyright audio.
well, it is from an
Anyways, we'll,
independent artist that is not signed
yeah.
to a label, so might be more free, but
Oh
it's
no, it
really
isn't.
good.
It's all copyrighted.
Oh,
Already checked.
really? Oh man.
And it has to be. Any music, YouTube is copyrighted. That's a big thing. Here's
Yes.
Dehydrated Nurse. I tried to open many people's eyes. They won't listen. Said
Hmm.
Morris Liquor video. Yeah.
Was
You know, it's
AI.
just like people, it's like ostriches, right? They want to stick their head in the sand when it's danger. Danger. Oh, it
Hmm.
couldn't be. They stick their head in their sand and they say, oh, that's just fake news.
Exactly, because they're gonna deny it right from the and my mother is she's
Yeah.
like that with everything. They're gonna outright deny it until either they can't deny it anymore or it's like way too obvious. And that's why when I brought up the arsonist story, that it doesn't work
Mhm.
when you try to do like physical you know, like protesting like that, or you know, criminal things, is because they're
Mhm.
not going to take it as you listen to my message. No, they're going to take it like you're persecuting me
Mhm.
because of the things I believe in. We're not trying
Mhm.
to do that. We're trying to actually convince them that what we are actually saying is the real truth about the so-called truth that they believe
Mhm.
in. So when they are presented with these facts, it's going to be hard for them to accept it if you're burning down their kingdom halls or assaulting them or
Mhm.
harassing them. Like, it's just not going to work.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, you know, some people they do this, and it doesn't make us any better than the governing body. So
No.
we need to do things the right way, which is
Mhm.
how you said New York. Now we can sue them. Then everybody
Yep.
who has a case, that's exactly what you should do. You should start suing people.
Yeah. And then once they become culpable, if it goes to court and if it gets in front of a jury, they could go to jail. So that video that's being made could be for them. They could be preparing their people. And then they want to make it look like Babylon is turning on religions and we just got put into the same pie. I don't know what they're going to sling
Right.
it as, but they'll sling it as something. But Justin brought up a good point or asked a question. He's wondering about those fires.
I just Googled it.
And
The Jennings Creek fire is being reported as 100% contained
okay,
now.
so the Jennings fire is 100%
And
contained.
I'm just checking the
So
org.
right now you'd see a lot of black. Is that what?
That's the cover of JW org at the
Really?
moment. Yeah,
Really?
really.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
we're looking at the cover of
Yeah.
JW.org right now.
Do you think that
Where's
they
that?
would spend any money in repairs up for that fire?
There's their cover
Yeah.
on their website.
What did you ask, Ruby?
Like, do you think
Oh,
that
did they?
the Watchtower is gonna give money for like the recovery of that fire, or like donate anything for that
No.
fire?
No,
They've
but
already donated fire trucks and they've donated condos and stuff like that for people in the area. I can't see
Oh,
them
okay.
going out of their way anymore. But
so
Mm,
now they're doing the big fire thing here. Things to save your life. You see, they had the fire licking at their doorstep.
yeah,
So now they're going to do the big fire thing and look like they're all something. And the town of Warwick did make it a big announcement. Rick Fearon ran it, where
Mm-hmm.
Warwick went in, or Bethel Watchtower went in and made meals for people and
Yep.
delivered water, and they were kind of helping on the front lines.
We have that clip somewhere.
So
Yeah.
Watchtower did get involved. Now, this leads us to question number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Watchtower got involved when the fire's licking at their own backyards, what about all the hurricanes that's tearing people's houses down? Why aren't they on the front lines there,
Didn't affect.
delivering water, hot meals, and tents and stuff?
I know,
What?
because it didn't affect their headquarters.
Yeah, because it didn't affect their headquarters.
But what about the
there's a
average
double
Jehovah's
standard. Two
Witnesses?
tiers.
But what about like the
Yeah.
average JWs in North Carolina with Hurricane Helene, or
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Florida with
They weren't on the
Hurricane
front
Milton?
lines.
So
They'll
and
come in and rebuild houses, but they weren't on the front lines.
they were
Mhm.
very good neighbors in the Tuxedo Park area. They helped the worldly people there. But if I had assets sitting in the bush there and there was a huge fire, I would be giving whatever I could just so that I'd be
Yeah.
getting whatever information I could be getting out of them. I'm a part of that now. So
Yeah.
even though it looks really good, I totally believe their motivations were completely selfish because they do not protect any other infrastructure
No,
like this.
they don't help anybody in any front lines. In fact,
Sorry about that.
thank you for that good
Yeah,
wife.
sorry about that.
But no, don't be sorry. It's good.
No.
Now, but they don't. You know what they do? They'll tell you, and I could show you in the elders book, but we ran this under disaster relief in the elders book. It says you can
Mhm.
use um, other religious groups' services, long as you don't
Mhm.
take their pamphlets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Right.
have to be government sponsored. So the Catholic Church is all government sponsored. The Mormons are. The Seventh Day Adventists are. They all are. Any
Mhm.
church, the only ones that aren't is Scientology. I looked at it. And Scientology does the same thing as JW.org, as they just print literature. They do disaster relief, but they say that they do it by education. Well, how the hell are you going to educate people when the flood's up to your roof? They need a boat.
It's a little late
Yep.
then.
They don't need
Exactly.
paper and propaganda. But
They need help.
Scientology does propaganda. JW.org does propaganda.
Right.
But JW.org will go in for insurance money and build houses. I think that's a little bit of a game too. But
Right.
it's people need help on the front lines.
Right, but that's like the backward thinking for me, because we go door to door. We used to go door to door for people to take our pamphlets, right? But if that same
Yeah.
householder were to give us something from their religion or whatever, we can't take it. That was one of the
Yeah.
things that used to get me when I was a kid. Like, why am I not allowed to view what the householder has to say? And my mom would literally walk away from the door when somebody was like, well, can I challenge you on that? Let me show you my Bible and let me give you this pamphlet. She would walk away, and the householder would still be there at the door. And I used to think that's like so disrespectful. Like, we're coming to their door to have a conversation about the Bible. Why are you not there to talk about it? So that's one thing that like really used to get me. The second thing, like you just said, government funded, or that the Scientology and the Jehovah's Witnesses are one of the two that just print literature. So why are they considered a religion if they are just printing literature? It's like a newspaper. Like, you're just printing your own ideas. Why are you considered
They're
a religion?
tearing trees down,
Yeah,
printing paper.
good point. Yeah, exactly. And then they want to claim that they are a religion when all you do is buy and sell property, use volunteer work for projects to enrich the organization, and you call yourself a religion. So that's why we need to make a very big difference between a religion and a cult. Very two different things. Like, always remember that. They're not a religion. It's not something to like be respected. Like, in my opinion, you have the right, to your own religion in America, but I don't have to respect it. I don't have to respect your beliefs. And especially if it's a cult, an abusive one at that, absolutely not. Like, we need to continue denouncing these Christians who call themselves Christians. They're not Christian. And it's the real Christians who need to say Scientologists are a cult, Mormons are a cult, JWs are a cult. You know what I mean? Like they call themselves Christians and they're not Christians. So that's just my 2 cents. Sorry.
I kind of garbled a bit. I don't know. My internet's garbly.
It's good though.
It's good now.
Well said though, Ruby.
But yeah, no, you said it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Probably wasn't important. It'll come back to me if it is. But someone in the comments said something I wanted to bring out. Where was it? Okay, we got any updates on the fire. We did get to that. I thought I'd seen something else. Okay, here it is. Beverly said they only provided meals to members in Western North Carolina, right? So they did, the Watchtower did do some meal providing.
Yeah.
They did get in there.
Hurricanes, yeah.
Good.
I'm surprised.
So now we got the West Coast is all blown up.
She said it was either 1 or 3 meals a day. She doesn't know
Okay.
which. But
Well, that's great. So they were there.
Well, good for them.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
At least something.
Okay. Yeah, well, they have to because they're advertising it, right? Humanitarian. And if they're providing hot meals to all the firemen, why aren't they providing hot meals to their own people in North Carolina and all these other disaster-ridden areas? Florida. I don't know wherever all the disasters are. That's where, because these are trillion-dollar organizations. They're paid charity by the government. They get a lot of money, and the government's depending on these religions to do their part, or they wouldn't be charities. And that's what we're going to go to next. Is how their charity is being challenged in Norway.
Good.
We're going to take a look at that. Who they're up against in Norway is the Ministry of Children and Families, and that's who's taken them down in Norway. It's how they're treating the children, the young people. Will protect children from unwanted advertising, social media, and games. Worried that something has gone wrong in your adoption case. Rights of a child and young people. When they look at Watchtower videos with all those little kids videos, it must just blow their minds when their psychologists look at the videos. They're very cultish videos. They're very just like bad videos. I know there's a lot of exjws covering them, and that's great. I think anybody that can cover them videos has to expose them. Okay, here it is. Here's the machine translated by Google, because we do have this in Norwegian, right? But I can't read Norwegian. So let's go over to this one. This is off Avoid JW, actually. Thank you to Avoid JW. So the decision conversion request not granted. So Jehovah's Witnesses, it's not granted. They went on and nailed it all. Like they laid it all out. Their state subsidies 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024 all rejected. It was all about money, right? They wanted all that money for all those years. That's what was in the letter. So that was their first and foremost concern. Money, 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 right? Jehovah's Witness, JW work. The average Jehovah's Witness doesn't even know any of this is happening. They don't even have a clue. Now, the ministry's conclusion is that the conversion request will not be accepted. So the content of the conversion request is Jehovah's Witnesses point out that the above-mentioned decision has its background in Jehovah's Witness religion teachings about limiting contact with a person who has been removed from the congregation or who has himself withdrawn. And Jehovah's Witnesses will inform about a recent adjustment which has been made on a worldwide basis in our religious practice in this area. And the most important adjustments are then summarized in 4 bullet points, among other things, it is stated. So here it is. If a baptized minor commits a serious sin, 2 elders will have a conversation with the minor and his Christian parents or guardians to find out what the parents have already done to help their child make the necessary changes and repent. Now, if the minor has a good attitude and the parents manage to reach out to him, it may be that the 2 eldest will come to the conclusion that it's not necessary to do anything more about the matter. It is the parents who have the biblical responsibility to correct a child in a loving way. And for that reason, it will be even rarer that a baptized minor who has committed a serious sin will be able to be removed from the congregation. So you see, this is the Jehovah's Witnesses. This is what they're saying. So they're admitting that they're just saying it's going to be rarer, but they're still admitting that the baptized minor who has committed a serious sin will be removed from the congregation. So it's right there. That would disqualify him right there. So now the person who and by the way, an unbaptized person that's studying, an unbaptized publisher, they treat them the same. They get announced. If they've committed a serious sin, they get announced as so-and-so is no longer an unbaptized publisher. And most people will mark them, won't talk to them, treat them just like they're disfellowshipped. You've seen that, have you? How they mark unbaptized publishers for committing serious wrongdoings. They're not even baptized yet. I know this isn't even talking about it, but it's in their elders book, how they deal with unbaptized publishers. Now, it goes on to say here, this is the JW response. They're saying persons who belong to the congregation choose for themselves whether they want to invite a person who has been removed. There, you changed the word, right? Removed, not disfellowship no more. Who has been removed from the congregation, who has resigned to a congregation meeting. They can also choose to greet the person and welcome him or her to the meeting. So they can invite the person who's disfellowshipped or quit going. They can just invite him to the meeting. And then they can also choose to say hi to them when they come to the meeting. And if the person expresses that he wants to return to the congregation, the elders can also arrange for someone in the congregation to study the Bible with him, even if he has not yet been reinstated. And a person who has been disfellowshipped or has chosen to withdraw may be reinstated within a few months if he shows genuine repentance. You see, there's no allowance for anybody just leaving the congregation saying it's bullshit, but I want to have association with my family. I want to be able to go out with a movie with my brother or my sister, or my mother or my father. I want to go see my mom on Mother's Day. I want to give her some flowers. I want to go fishing with my dad on Father's Day. You see, you can't do that in this religion. And that's why this religion is a cult, because it separates members of the family from one another. That's what cults do. The whole world knows this, Jehovah's Witnesses. The whole wide world knows this. So the
Right.
sooner they get in with the program, the better they will be. But they're not getting in with it. Here's what the Norway says. They say in the letter of October, additional comments are given to the above letter. JV refers to the attached expert opinion. Remember we ran the Gene Zermatten? He's the
Yeah,
former head of the UN's Children Committee. It's right here. All
yeah,
here. These guys
actually,
looked at it. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
that's actually when I first saw this paper, this is what I highlighted, because it says that the expert opinion from Jean Sermatin, former head of the UN Children's Committee, states this is what he concludes. Quote, the relevant religious practices of Jehovah's Witnesses are in accordance with and protected by the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. This guy, either he is delusional, or he doesn't have all of the information, or he is getting paid to say what he's saying.
He's paid off.
He's paid.
He's paid off.
Nailed it.
We
Exactly.
emailed him and he took his picture off his statement.
I'm
So
telling
yeah,
you,
yeah,
this guy is a paid operative for the Jehovah's Witnesses, because for
he's a
him to say
lobbyist.
that, it is so
Yeah.
ethically disgusting to me, because what Norway is saying is to protect the children of Norway, to protect the
Mm-hmm.
children. We're not talking about adults, we're talking about
Yep.
children. And he's saying that what the Jehovah's Witnesses do is protected by the UN Convention of the Rights of the Child. So he is poorly he is misinformed, or he's being paid, because I was a 17-year-old child shunned by my mother for getting pregnant. She isolated me 23 hours a day in somebody's
Mhm.
empty house because of the shunning policy of the Jehovah's Witnesses. And I was a child at the time. So for
Mhm.
this Gene Sir Matten to be talking the way he's talking right now is very
Mhm.
upsetting. And I did download his letter that is in reference, the October 31st,
Mhm.
2024. And I'm gonna do a video on this because you know
Mhm.
how many other Jehovah's Witness children have been shunned for like stupid stuff, and they lose their family, they lose their friends. I lost my cousins, I lost literally everybody that could have been there for me and my pregnancy, but I couldn't have them because of the shunning
Mhm.
policy. And I was a child, I was a teen mom. So it is disgusting what this Gene guy is saying in that letter about children.
So, do you know what the Ministry of Norway said about Gene? They said it right here. They said, in our view, the content of the two quotations above is suitable to confirm that the state's administrator and the ministry have based their decision on a correct understanding of Jehovah's Witness practices relating to contact with people who are excluded or have opted out, and the main features of the practice remain. References made to the Watchtower Study Article 35 from August 2024 help them who are removed from the congregation. This is the one here. Help for those who are removed. This is all about people being removed. That's what they're showing. So then they go on to say that this Gene Zetterman is away. Is Matten? He's away out to lunch. Where do they actually say that? If you want to move
Yeah,
ahead to
actually
that,
in my
right here,
translation. Oh, okay. Where
right here.
where?
Right here, they say that with regard to the statement from Jean Zermatten, which
Mm-hmm.
is attached to this letter, we would firstly note that this seems to be based on a different understanding of the practices of Jehovah's Witnesses than the one the ministry puts forward. The
Exactly. Yeah,
points
a
above.
different understanding.
Yeah,
Money, because
much
this guy's
away
getting
money.
paid to
Yeah,
say what he's saying.
yeah.
Right on.
Oh my God.
So Gene Zermatten, he doesn't have a clue what's really going on in this organization, but Norway does. They nailed it.
Oh, but get this, because this is what they're quoting on page 13 and 14 when Gene writes, in the present case, being excluded from the religious community does not necessarily mean rejection or isolation, even if the adolescent is in fact distant from the other members, but not necessarily from everyone and not from his or her family. It would appear that the children's relationship with their parents is not affected, and that any social isolation would only concern other community members. That is such a lie, because I was with my mom. I was a child.
Yeah.
I did what I did. I still got shunned. I still got disfellowshipped. My whole family couldn't talk to me. And even my mother couldn't talk to me. And we were in the same household.
Mhm.
And that's why she took me outside of the household, because the Jehovah's
Mhm.
Witnesses say not to even live with your just disfellowshipped children. That if they're old enough to live on their own, get rid of them. That's the unofficial language that they use. And that's what Jehovah's Witnesses would do to their children if the organization tells them to do it. If they tell you
Mhm.
tomorrow to kick out your DF children, they would do it. And it has
Mhm.
been done. We are living proof that what Gene Zermatten is saying in that expert opinion is wrong. It's false and it's
Mhm.
disgusting. There's thousands upon thousands of children who are now adults that would tell you the horrors that the shunning policy has done, because I was suicidal during all that time, being pregnant, like just angry at myself,
Mhm.
ashamed of myself, guilty, all the guilt tripping. It was shameful, and nobody did anything to help me out. And these were all adults, and I was the only child in the room. And imagine if I would have ended my own life, like many hundreds of other Jehovah's
Mhm.
Witness, people have done. And it's because of
Mhm.
this. So what the hell is he talking about? That this
Mhm.
not necessarily from everyone, and that it wouldn't affect any social isolation. Is this guy out of his mind? They would physically isolate you, like
Mhm.
quite literally isolate you and shun you. until you are announced on the damn stage in that freaking Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's why I don't want to say the word hate, but I dislike them very much for what they did to me and for what they did to many other thousands of Jehovah's Witness children who had to go through what I went through.
Well, thanks for expressing yourself, Ruby. And
Yeah.
you, along with probably thousands upon thousands of others, feel the same. Now, what I thought was interesting about how Norway handled this is JW Org brought in their expert opinions. Well, theirs were Bitter Winter. They brought in Bitter Winter and that Zermatten, if I said it right.
Yep.
Now, they brought in this other religious scholar. Norway brought this George guy in, Christ's Sides, and he's written several books about Jehovah's Witnesses, and he states the following. Witnesses disfellowshipping, shunning, and the gent ruling, published in Bitter Winter. So he talks about it. The society's sanction of shunning applies to baptized members, adults, minors, and those who have disassociated themselves. That is to say, those who have formally expressed in writing a desire to no longer be part of the Watchtower organization. That's what I did. And or those actions plainly demonstrate a desire to leave, such as regularly attending a mainstream church, joining the army, or voluntarily accepting a blood transfusion. So this guy is looking at them as a cult, and he's actually countering what Bitter Winter is doing, because JW.org also lobbies Bitter Winter to support them. And who supports Bitter Winter? Well, none more than Massimo, the vampire, the guy that's head of the Vampire Association, Massimo. And he's on JW.org's website, and he heads up Bitter Winter. So JW.org, they've really went to some measures to try to cover over things, but Norway, they seem to really understand JW.org. They really understand them. And this article is really well written, I thought, for a letter. But they talk about the offender, like the person disfellowship's not normally required to leave home. However, one Watchtower publication states that it may be necessary for a householder to ask a disfellowship member to leave. Do you remember that? They have it in their publications. Let's say your kid's at a line, they say kick them out. So this would be considered appropriate if they continue to engage in unacceptable practices. For instance, if they repeatedly came home drunk or persistently stayed out late with a non-believing partner. Let's say your kid had a girlfriend or something. They'll kick them out, right? So once the offender leaves home, then social interaction discontinues. The family no longer talks to the daughter or the son, and that's just how it is. You see, Norway, they nailed it. They nailed it, and they said here 2 Watchtower videos depict parents refusing to open a text message. I ran that on one of my videos the other day from disfellowship children, since they're no longer allowed to have social contact. You remember the videos? The mother's ignoring.
Exactly.
You
Yep.
could picture you texting your mom and your mom sitting there ignoring it, following that video, following what the Watchtower taught her. You're experiencing the grief, Ruby,
Yeah.
and we
Oh
just heard
yeah.
it. We all heard it here. The grief that goes through a young person who's
Mm-hmm.
trying to raise her kids without any interaction with the parent, the grand. This is just a mess. JW
Right.
Org has just messed up so many lives, so many families, and it's about time Norway, like one country at least, is doing something. But I think we're
Exactly.
close to Watchtower going to jail. I think what's going on in New York and this latest video, I'm going to look into it on
Mm-hmm.
what they just produced, getting their people prepared for their leaders going to jail. I think
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen next.
Exactly. That's why we need to continue sharing our exit stories. You need to
Yeah,
tell the world how this organization treated you,
yeah.
the whole process, the in and outs of it.
Hmm.
Like no matter how embarrassing or shameful you might think
Hmm.
it is for yourself, because that was me. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm never gonna talk about this. I'm never gonna tell people what I went through or what I did or whatever. And I used to keep it to myself. And I'm like, no, people need to know what's going on.
Hmm.
The more people talk, the more people who actually have power, like that ministry guy in Norway, or judges, or anybody who can actually make real change, they're gonna get wind of it. If enough people are talking about it and causing a trend, or like making it go viral. You know, all these videos you see on YouTube going to 30 something K views of why I left the Jehovah's Witnesses. That's a good thing. More people need to hear your story. Don't be afraid to tell your story.
Okay, I put a link in the chat there. It's a StreamYard link. I don't know if it came up yet.
Yes,
But
it did. I see it.
we're looking for these two guys, ExWitnessAwake. So Jonathan, he's going to come on.
Do you think maybe that Ruby could share a screen and her audio would work?
Yeah, sure. You could even share the screen and see if
Okay.
your audio works for a second.
Just for like 10 seconds.
This is the one you want to share, is the Compassionate Apostate.
Please.
Yes.
This is the song here. This is the video.
Okay, I'm going
I
there
don't know if it
now.
plays. Probably not playing. See.
Okay, let's see. Compassionate.
So you would have to play, but this is the video. It is copyrighted, so probably it's a good thing that we can't play it, maybe. And it's a really good song. So there's Jonathan. He's singing. These guys are just really talented. What we want to do is get everyone in the audience checking out this video on Compassionate Apostate. You got to check it out. This is what it's like losing your religion. This is the passion that these guys put into it. Losing my religion. They just couldn't have picked a more perfect song. You know what it feels like. It's like going through a divorce.
Yes.
Because you're really, you know.
It is. It's a bad breakup.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have it here.
Oh, great. See if you can play 15 seconds of it or something. Yeah, it's a song by Ram, Losing My Religion.
I want to find the chorus when he actually says that, like losing my religion. So I'm going to try to find the minute mark and then I'll play it. And I think this is... Idea. And his name is Jonathan, right?
Yeah, Jonathan. He's from Canada and he's from Toronto. We met with him.
And the other gentleman is Jacopo.
And the other gentleman is Jacopo. He's from the UK.
From
London.
Italy.
He's from Italy.
But I think he lives in London now.
And now he's moved to London.
I think.
And that's what we think.
Okay, so I do want to show a few seconds of Jonathan's vocals. I did not know that this guy could sing.
Yeah,
I did not know. I was like, what? The same thing on Discord?
Yeah, see if you can play 20, 30 seconds of it.
Okay.
I can't hear anything either. Can you hear anything?
You can't hear anything?
Oh, my good wife says it's coming through. You're good.
Okay. Okay.
It's probably just
amazing.
My computer.
It worked.
Yep, it's working.
It worked. So just watch it.
Choosing my confessions, trying to keep an eye on you, like a herd lost somebody flowing through. I know I said too much. Say down. Consider this.
Okay, that should be good.
Yeah, right? So, isn't it amazing?
And look at the makeup on Jacopo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Jacopo.
Yeah. And Jackie Jack says, "Dang, he's hot."
Well, we were hoping maybe they would come on tonight.
Well, just
yeah.
You know, maybe if we talk really. Oh, there's one guy.
Surprise.
Jonathan.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
Well done, Jonathan.
Well,
Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
So it's quite late there, isn't it?
About 10 o'clock. Not too
Oh,
bad.
you're the same as Ruby. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. So Ruby, you had some questions. Go ahead.
Yes, I
Some
am
questions.
so shocked that you have a voice, first of all. Did not know
No.
you had a voice like that.
Oh, well, thank
Amazing.
you.
Okay. So
I
one of
used
my
to sing at this church I used to go to.
really
This is just great. Like
Here I am, send me. No, just kidding.
we had no
No.
clue you guys were doing this song in the background. That you guys kept it secret, didn't you? A little bit, eh?
Yep. No. I feel you because my mother used to make me sing, and she would make us sit in the second aisle. Every meeting, we would have to sit all the way at the front and sing. We had to be the loudest singers. So I know how you I know how you feel, but you actually have a good voice. That's
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
really good voice.
I've been singing for a long time, so that's
Now is that your motorbike?
I would have, yeah, that's my bike. I would have been at karaoke tonight, but we weren't quite up to it. So
Karaoke.
yeah.
So, Jonathan, I wanted to ask you, what was the inspiration for the song? Like the lyrics, the music, like everything. Like, those lyrics are really powerful, especially for us. So I wanted to ask you about the inspiration.
Well, that's a very popular song from REM. So it just seemed to fit. It was actually his idea. I just sort of provided the vocals for it. But I've enjoyed. Oh, we lost Vern.
No, he just turned off his camera, but he's still there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm taken.
The comments are funny.
Yeah, it's
Hide that comment.
I was just having a side conversation here.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I always admire singers with a thick hairline.
What's that?
The words go over my head. I just can't remember 'em. But your hairline catches all the words. You always remember them, right?
Well,
You didn't catch that one.
No. My memory is terrible, so I usually have a problem remembering lyrics. That's,
Really?
Yeah, that's why karaoke's nice, because they have them up on the screen.
I thought, yeah, well, you did that like a pro, but how do you guys record that? Jacopo's in the UK, right? London?
Yes.
And you're in Toronto.
Close, yeah.
Did
That
you
area.
fly there to do this with him or what?
No. There's just a wooded area close to the house there, so and there's a local Kingdom Hall not too far, so I drove the bike around, and my wife she held the phone to take the video.
It was really well done.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks to your wife, your good wife. She did a good job.
I got
recording
one of
that.
those too, a good wife.
Good wife.
Yeah.
You're handy.
Trying to think what I was going to say. Oh, in the video, I noticed that he had a Kingdom Hall in his area that he's walking sort of, towards the Kingdom Hall, and then he just sort of, you see his hand like he's going into the door. I thought that was kind of cool.
Can you play that? Just play it without music. Just silence it.
Yeah, there you go.
That Kingdom Hall, yeah.
I just thought that was kind of neat how he's kind of like opening the door there.
That was good.
Yeah. Yeah, that part was powerful. I was like, oh.
And it was like you guys changed the cadence, is that right, of the song a bit? You slowed the song down.
Well, it's no, actually, it's the same time signature. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've seen 2 copyrights come in, one from the song and one from you guys.
Ah, there she
Well,
is.
wife. Is that your wife?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's Wendy.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
That's my favorite
We gotta-
smile right there.
Oh,
We gotta,
so nice.
Here's what we got to do for your good wife right here.
Done.
And for you boys.
Yeah, well done.
Well done. You guys did a
You need to do more collaborations. You need to continue singing.
I would really like to. I used to make some music back in the 2010s. There was a site called Compose, and you could do collaborations online. Now that's with people I didn't know.
Mhm.
So, you know, I've written some songs. I could send you a link if you wanted to just play it, but
Are they copyrighted? Are they someone
No.
else's songs? Are
no,
they your
'cause
own songs?
I wrote the lyrics, so it's Creative Commons license.
Well, then you can pull them up. We could pull them up.
You'll
Where are they on
100%
your
have
site?
my permission.
Are they on your
Okay,
site?
awesome.
No, I have it on a different one. I'll send you that in
Well.
just a second.
We're gonna have to get Fallen Ashes to do a collaboration with you guys. Ashley.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting that you guys can do that, like sing like that and put together music.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can sing pretty decently. I don't have the know-how when it comes to like with the instruments and arranging. So I'm happy to do covers and happy to, you know, come up with that sort of thing. But
Well, it's always the singers that are hard to get. That when I grew up in school bands, you know, to get a singer was the hard thing. You know, there's lots of guys that could play drums and guitar and things like that, but to get a really good singer, and you guys are really kicking this off. I think you guys could do something with this.
It is great.
I would love
This is
to.
great.
I would love to make an album and maybe do collaborations with other people too.
Oh yeah, Dinah, right? Dinah from Discord. She had that song. She was singing a little bit for Joe and Fran. She's a good singer.
She has a lot of poetry that could be turned to songs.
Yeah.
Dinah. There's a lot
There's
of
so many
collaboration
people.
here. Yeah. I think this is just the start. Maybe we should have it's Christmas is coming up. Why don't we plan some kind of a talent show and just have songs and just play songs all day? You know, we don't have to monetize it if there's copyrights in some of it, but it's tricky on lives. If you're doing lives, you have to have stuff that's free that you can play. So that's the tricky part with lives.
Okay, I'm gonna send this to your Discord.
Comments? Oh, okay, sure. Mine? Ruby's probably better at it than me.
Well, you're good.
There you go.
Okay, how much want her to like your lungs, want her air? Is that the one?
Yeah, that's one. That's called Don't Go.
Okay.
It just proves that I can do this from a long time ago.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
out to
awesome.
pasture yet.
Okay, so I'm going to add that. I'm going to see if I can present this. Share this screen, entire screen. I'm going to include the music. That screen I want, not the music. Share it. It should work this time. Okay.
We could hear it.
Here.
And I wrote the lyrics and the melody. Anyway.
Sometimes you stare at the wall, wondering why.
You did all of this. All
Well,
of this is you. You're singing and everything, eh?
I'm not playing the instruments though.
No? Okay.
No, that was a guy in Russia that did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we should be able to play this without copyright, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You try it all. When the one you love pulls you down, left wondering why. You made
Sometimes you stare at the floor, wondering when heaven come through your door. Yeah, you know why you made the call. She made you feel real, like you're a man 10 feet tall. You know I need her. You don't go, don't go. You know I need her. You don't go, don't go. Some days you will say words that burn, or wondering when or how you ever gonna learn. If you don't treat her right, you're left in the darkness, reaching out to touch the light. Sometimes when you know you're a fool, or treat that girl right, or try to use that golden rule, show her that you really care, how much you want her, like your lungs were walking. You know I need her, you don't you, don't you. You know I need her, you don't you. You know I need her, you don't you. I know you need me I hope you need me too.
Amazing.
You don't have to play this whole thing if you don't want to. Oh, there you go.
That was good. That was just great, Jonathan.
Yeah,
This will be your musical episode.
You need a music YouTube channel. You need that storytelling channel.
Oh yeah.
Discord. In the chat, I see your wife is.
Yeah, because he can tell wicked stories.
You need your exjw channel. You need a channel for everything.
Ruby, you'll have to help him be his manager.
Or Wendy just got very busy in the background there.
Help Jonathan. Anybody out there help with this or what? Do you want exposure?
I've always loved to do creative stuff, but you know, I'm getting kind of echo there. But you know how it is when you're a witness, you're just not encouraged to do anything because it's detracting away from the organization. You're putting too much emphasis on yourself, and they just kill people's creative energy. I bet there's a lot of people out there that would discover that they can do a lot more than they thought they could if they hadn't been so, worried about making hours and cleaning toilets for the congregation and stuff like that.
We're allowed to shine.
Well, this is a lot of people come out of the org and they just blossom, and you're one of them.
What's
Ruby's another one.
What's his storytelling channel name, please, Jonathan?
Do you have your storytelling channel?
Yeah, I don't have my StreamYard connected to my
play a little clip that you did if you want.
I just need the link to put it in the chat because I don't think just anybody can drop a link is the issue.
So. Okay, let me find it and I'll give it to you.
Here's an interesting one that he did on his
storytelling channel. Loved it.
Okay, I'll see if this plays through.
Yeah,
this is off your Discord, so if anybody out there wants to talk to some of these artists, we have ExWitnessAwake Jonathan here. You can talk directly to him. You can see he test runs some of his books and some of his creations. Also, the Compassionate Apostate is on there. So you'll find these guys. So here's a little test run of this little book. I thought the voice was terrific.
Jim loved his cabin. It was secluded, peaceful, and he rarely had visitors. He loved sitting on his porch swing watching the sunsets. The birds would fly up to the railing and ask for scraps. "Here you go, little fella," he said with a joyful smile. He thought about the real estate guy who wanted him to sell this place. The nerve of that creep. I'll never leave this place. Who'd feed my birds? Jim tossed another chunk from his meal onto the floor. The crow thanked him with a hearty caw as it carried away the bloody ear. I like doing that New Yorker voice, you know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love the background music and like the sound behind it is amazing.
I like to put a soundscape in there. I think it really adds something to the.
Mm-hmm.
I just dropped the link for Jonathan's channel. The storytelling channel is in the chat now, guys. So check it out there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and actually, I had set it up to where because I wanted to bank enough of these little stories that I don't have to constantly, like I gotta get one out. So I made like one every day of the month. Then so I could do 2 a week. So that puts me into like February or something. So I had it December the 11th. It was supposed to drop, but it was taking too long. People are like, when's something going to happen? So tomorrow there will be some things being published on there.
Awesome. And Jonathan, that's how Mr. Ballin became famous on YouTube because he was doing storytelling. Yeah, Mr. Ballin, he's huge now. Now he's doing tours and he's doing tickets and everything, and he's just telling stories. And he came up with his own book of stories. So you got that voice. And I think that if you just do more of it, do the TikTok, like everything that you were talking about a long time ago. I remember listening to you on Discord about that. That's exactly what you need to do. You need to continue with the TikTok, Instagram, or like whatever works for you. Do the reels and do those little short stories and you will blow up because the voice is amazing. Like,
thank you.
And then if you do when you do your own thing with the music is like the number one thing in my opinion that reaches everybody. Like everybody loves music and you got the voice for it. You got the face for it. Like you just picture perfect. You know what I mean? You just have to give the time to, you know what I mean? Like you have to really dedicate
finding the
yourself
time is the tricky part. I think because I work late at night, that helps because I can take a little break and it doesn't cut into family time, which is, can be challenging to do all these different things and not have my wife going, "Who are you? I haven't seen you in weeks."
Exactly. So. You need to wake up a little bit earlier in the mornings and go to sleep a little later at night.
Yeah.
So that you can do your own channels and create the content because you're, oh my God, amazing. Like I'm in shock. I think I'm just in shock. That's why I keep repeating myself. Because I'm just in shock that is you. Like, what, like I've seen you on different channels or I see your name pop up every so often, like somewhere, but I haven't really gotten to know you or like really talk to you directly. So I'm kind of shocked. Like what this guy can say.
There's a pretty big community of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses now. So it's like, it's kind of hard to talk to everybody.
Yes. That's so true. That is so true. But at the same time, there are so many people in the community who you can collaborate with. You can share the load with somebody or like get ideas with somebody else. Like me and my cousin, we're doing this cooking show thing. And it's like, she's feeding me ideas. I'm feeding her the ideas. We collaborate on the graphics, the thumbnail, like everything. And then we do it together. And then I told her, we'll just go 50-50 on everything. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I'll do all the computer stuff and you just tell me the recipes. You know what I'm saying? Like you need like that partner to, if you want, I'm saying like you can collaborate with so many people.
That's what I like about collaboration too, because if you're a person who's really, really motivated, that's good. But sometimes you need that little kick to keep you going, the bit of accountability. So I'm just used to calling him the compassionate apostate. I didn't really use his name. So Yeah, like, you know, Jacopo, like, you know, he was waiting for me to do the stuff. And I know if I let it set too long, it's not going to happen. So, you know, I got to get out there and do the thing. Hey, honey, can we go record the thing? And, you know,
Yes.
because
You know what?
life gets busy, you know, and it's hard to do all
Right,
the
right.
things.
But that's what I was just about to tell you. It has to be incorporated in your daily routine. Like I wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do this with my 3 kids and homeschooling if I didn't incorporate it in the learning experience. Like if I'm doing the cooking, I'm letting my daughter do it with me, and that's culinary skills, and it's homeschooling as well as YouTube content. Like I'm integrating different things of my life to have a flow, so that I'm not like being snappy, like, oh, you got to do this because I got to do YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to make them feel like I'm doing prioritizing this than actual people, you know, like you said, like family, your life. But if it becomes a routine, or it becomes like everybody gets involved in helping dad or, you know, you to do something, and then they see the reward, the likes, the views, the comments, and, you know, like it can be a thing for everybody to be involved in. It could work.
We got a lot of kids at home, so I told all the older ones, like, hey, when my thing drops, you know, let all your friends know.
Exactly.
To get on the ground.
I'd like to, before we end the show, Ruby.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for cutting you off, but can I show your new site?
Oh yeah, I'd like to see this.
This is the one everyone wants to subscribe to. I'm going to Jonathan's site. I just subscribed.
Well, thank you.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
So everyone on YouTube, this is the Tale Tellers Universe. And we can put a link into our video when we're done here. So all you have to do is
I appreciate it.
Go there. And this tells a little story. There's a little story here. Look at. Oh, I missed it. Sorry, right here.
What? That sounds so good.
Hello and welcome to Tale Tellers Universe. I'm Jonathan. Twice weekly, you'll be able to enjoy an original drabble or a 100-word story. Please subscribe and share my channel with others to find fun stories in the horror, sci-fi, and comedy genres. And monthly, I'll be releasing a short story of approximately 1,500 to 4,000 words. From time to time, I'll read stories from the public domain. And if you ask me nice, I might read your story. For years, I dream of working as a creative person. Most of my life, I've made art using my hands, specifically with pencils. Now I have the rare opportunity to showcase other creative passions that I'm developing. Recently, I discovered that I really enjoy crafting short stories. My goal is to eventually write my first novel. Along with story writing, I enjoy using my voice to make a story a little extra interesting. If I had it my way, I'd be doing narration full time, but we got to make a living. I hope that you'll join me on my little journey by subscribing to the channel. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope to see you soon, and bye for now.
Well done, Ruby.
I love it. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you.
Awesome. Well, spread me around.
Well, that brings an end to our program. Any last words, Ruby, Jonathan?
I am excited that more of us are being creative and doing more things with our new freedom, our new time. And even though life does get in the way, and, you know, the Jehovah Witness BS stuff we see all the time, and, you know, doing what we do, we do it because we want to expose, but at the same time, I want to show more people like Jonathan doing what we are doing with our new life. It's about moving forward. It's about doing the things that we never got to do, that we weren't allowed to do, and we're actually doing it, and we're doing it in front of all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we actually have the XJW audience to applaud us, to give us encouragement, to give us that virtual hug of like, you're doing a good job. Somebody notices you now. You're not doing it just for yourself or in like this quiet room or whatever. Like, people can see you, and that's what I like, is that we're finally being seen and heard, applauded and appreciated for the things that would have been denounced as JWs, because we're not doing enough for Jehovah's organization. We're not spiritual enough. We're not going out in service enough, when we could have been doing this every Saturday, every Sunday, like doing what makes us happy and can bring happiness to other people. This is what we need to be doing. This is the best revenge you could ever do to all of those Jehovah's Witnesses who shun you, or who say, oh, look at that girl, or look at Jonathan, he's doing this, he's doing that. No, he is doing what he loves to do, and he's actually good at it. Like, he's good at it. So stop it.
I'm not Serena Williams good enough, but
Well, here's the thing. For everyone out there that's watching this, share the Telltales universe. Go on there, subscribe, share it, and Compassionate Apostate too. Let's not forget here.
Yeah, definitely.
Where is he? Where do I have him? Nope, right here.
Nope.
So this is the song. This is the site, right? Compassionate Apostate. We
he's
have that
he's
link
done a couple
already.
songs too. So, and I know he has like maybe 10 more that he wants to do over time. So
this is great.
More to come from him.
You guys might get a record deal. Who knows? This whole JW thing, it's taken off all over the world. The people are leaving this religion, and they're looking for this. This is great. Right. So we're going to keep sharing it. Everyone out there, if you can share Jonathan's work, maybe he'll get a record deal or a book deal or something.
And I want to see those recipes.
Maybe you can get out of the janitor work, and you could do this full time. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I'd rather be working here on my microphone than pushing a vacuum and vacuuming.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that with us today, and we want to get you on again and keep us posted on Discord. And
yeah, for sure.
We love your work. We love what you're doing. Thanks, Ruby, for the great interview. And yeah. Okay, well, I guess that brings an end to our show.
Bye, everybody in the chat.
And now the end is near.
Maybe we'll just have Jonathan's song.
Let's roll the outro.
Okay, Jonathan, you roll the outro.
Oh.
What are you going to say?
No pressure.
It's okay.
No pressure.
I told you, I can't remember lyrics, so.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for being on with us tonight. It's a little bit late. See you guys later.
Thank you.
Love you guys all. Bye for now.
Live your life with love.